My queen, it has been so long. And here's the funny part. The last time we had any kind of contact was around 2011, 2012. It was in Los Angeles. It was at the Grammy Canadian Consulate party. You were on stage performing. I made sure that I got to over to the stage as you were singing. You looked over, you waved, and then you went back. That was the last time you and I have had any contact. How have you been all this time?
I have been wonderful. Thank you. I that is too long for us to see each other.
Yeah.
That's really crazy. When I saw your name on the list, I was like, oh, this is my old friend Rudy Blair. I gotta be here. I'm so excited. I'm doing so good. I'm doing so good. I'm happy to be back here with you. So this is good. Now we get our one-on-one time. I don't get to see you from the stage. We get our one-on-one time.
Yes, definitely. You have such an incredible career. How does it feel being such a representation of Canadian music, women in front of the mic, Black women excellence? Um, I can go on and on and on, but also, again, going back to representing like folks like Deborah Cox or Nelly Furtado, and all of these artists, I can go on and on and on, all from Canada, all and the names I'm mentioning from Toronto too. How does it feel representing all these years the way you have been? And that goes back again with excellence.
It feels great. I'm so proud to be from Toronto, and just for many reasons, but if we're talking specifically about music, there's just been greatness that has come out of the city of Toronto and just the country of Canada in general. And so it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful legacy to be a part of. On this particular project, I partnered with a independent label out of Toronto. And so this is about this chapter of my life is almost like returning to self. It's about a homecoming. It's about reminding myself, reminding people, reminding the world, where it all began. And it's really, really important. And I'm very proud about it.
Before we get into the two singles, I got to ask two questions. One, did you recently get married?
I recently got married almost 4 years ago. And
Okay, because what am I seeing on social media then?
so my husband and I were planning a wedding in 2020, but obviously 2020 had other plans because
Mm-hmm.
COVID happened. And so we had to cancel our wedding. And we ended up actually just going down to this place and signing papers, just the two of us with masks on. It was hilarious. And I had put a video of that out in 2020. And that kind of went viral. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is what we needed. We needed joy. We needed to see Black love. We needed to see people celebrating life together. And so it was this really special moment. So we were officially married in 2020. But because of the pandemic, and then I had another baby, and there were all these things that happened, we never actually had a wedding with our family. So in December of 2023, we decided to have a super last minute small
Ah.
ceremony in our backyard. And the dress that I'm wearing is the dress that I had in my closet from the wedding that never happened in 2020. And fortunately, I could fit back into it after having my daughter. And our parents were actually in town for Christmas. And so we just decided to plan it because they were going to be here. And so we made it happen.
I love that. And two, are you part of a podcast?
I am a part of a podcast. I am a part of this incredible collective called the Mama's Den. We've been doing this podcast now for 2 seasons. We started in the pandemic. I remember just going and recording these things because we were talking to each other, being like, are you struggling in motherhood right now? Because I have however many children, however something year old, and this pandemic is really like, how do we get through this without each other? And so
Mhm.
shout out to Cody Oliver, who is the founder of Black Love, and she started that whole series and docu-series. And she was like, "Do you guys want to start a podcast?" And we're like, "Yeah, we do." And so we started showing up every Friday and recording and just letting it out. All the things that we had been feeling, all the things that we had felt, the things that we'd never discussed through our motherhood journeys, pregnancy journeys, partnership journeys. It was just literal therapy for us. And so we were like, let's do this, let's put it out. And so we're 2 seasons in now. We have video streaming, and it's just been an incredible collective. We built an incredible community. It's growing every day. And so anybody who's listening, I encourage, if you are thinking about having children,
Mm.
if you are a friend, a sister, a husband, a partner to a mother, or a woman, please tune in and listen. It is just such a wonderful weekly conversation that we have, and we keep it very real. And so that's where I've been. I've been married, I've been doing podcasting, I've been raising kids, and I've been making new music.
Have you been paying attention to what's been going on lately in Canada? And the reason why I say that, and I'm talking music wise, because lately artists like Cardinal Official and Deborah Cox, as we mentioned before, and Maestro, and so many other artists from the era that we sort of all came together. And Julie Black, oh gosh, how can I forget Julie Black? Lately, they have been getting their flowers. They've been inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame and the Canadian music, like the Junos, their Hall of Fame, and so many other things. What do you think about that? That this has finally been happening after all these years, especially when we're still in a cycle where people like Sean Jones has to fight to be able to say, "Hey, R&B music is still relevant," and but you still have charts in Canada saying, or people saying, "Nah, not really," which is insane. What do you think about that whole combination I just talked about? I mean, that's a lot.
It's a lot. One, absolutely give those people their flowers. Absolutely. And I think in general, just in the nature of people, we wait too long to give people their flowers. Often we wait till people die to give them their flowers. And
Yeah.
that's just the greatest disservice we can do. So I love that they're getting their flowers. And I would love to say, in a positive way, better late than never, but never late is better. Shout out to
Mm.
Drake. And I definitely, these are all friends of mine. These are all co-creators in this music industry, and they absolutely deserve their flowers. I do find it so disappointing that we are still having these conversations about the importance, the relevancy, the impact that Black artists and R&B and hip hop has made in the world. And so it's just really unfortunate that we still have these conversations where we can see the impact outside of Canada, but we're still like, hey guys, when are we going to acknowledge that the impact is actually happening in Canada? Like Drake's impact on the world is because Cardinal Official laid a brick and
Yes.
paved the way, you know? And so it's this fine line for where they want to classify what hip hop R&B is and pop. Like it's this weird thing, and pop tends to become popular. And it's like, how do we make our R&B and hip hop artists in Canada popular? That is a question for the Canadian media. That is a question for the Canadian audience. It really comes down to pride of ownership. Own your
Yeah.
people. Let them feel like they don't have to leave to go and do what it is that they have to do elsewhere to get their flowers. Let them feel like they can have a sustainable career in Canada because there is enough of a platform and an audience for people to create that and that demand. Um, it's tough. It's very tough, I think, being a neighbor to the United States.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of, I think, um, as far as Black music and Black artists, there's just historically not been enough support. And we kind of wait for the American flag to fly for us before we kind of say, oh, yeah, they're Canadian, there's amazing artists. And, you know, part of this season of my life, in partnering with this independent label in Canada, Public Records, these are friends of mine who I grew up with. These are friends who are in the fabric of the music industry and called me and said, "Hey, what do you have going on? Like we want to support. We want to shine a light on you." And that's how you change it. That's how you change it. When you have the power and you have the resources and you have the ability to start creating more platforms for people of color and artists and art of people of color, then you do that. And so shout out to my label partners for calling me and saying, "Come home. Let's do this together." And I want Canada to take note. And so that's what this is. This is a homecoming. It's kind of a return to self part right here for me. And I'm really proud. I'm really proud of the fact that I have been able to achieve international success, but I can still come home and meet a whole new audience, as crazy as that says. But like I said, better late than never.
Then let's get into what the two new singles are because you've definitely taken old school, brought it up today because it was funny. I was talking to somebody just a little while ago about, um, I was thinking about the old school artists. When I say old school, I'm talking about OJ's, Delphonics, Diana Ross, I can go on and on and on when I say that those artists and going, whatever happened to those voices and whatever happened to those lyrics and songs where you literally cried when you heard that song or you smiled when you heard that song or reminded you of that person that you had that heartbeat with. And I feel like these two new singles have brought us back to that inspiration.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that because that is truly what this music is for me. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that I want to feel. It's a feeling that I want other people to feel. Feeling is classic. It's timeless. It never goes out of style. You know, trendy lyrics and like sounds of like the club right now,
Mhm.
that might not be what I want to listen to in 20 years. But I think that the thing that I've always felt very proud of myself and the music that I make is that I've always wanted it to feel timeless. It Kills Me is a song I put out in 2009. It just went platinum 2 years ago, which is
Wow.
crazy because that just means people are still discovering it, still listening to it, still streaming it, and it's not on radio anymore. So it's a testament, I think, to when you have integrity in music and you want to create a feeling for people to always feel connected to, not just like a moment in their lives, but a feeling in their lives. And so that's what these songs are. That's what it's about vulnerability. It's about strength. It's about transparency. It's about joy. It's about raising the frequency. It's about raising the vibration. It's about people feeling like when they have a feeling that they're feeling, they know exactly what song they want to put on. And hopefully it's Melanie Fiona song.
So, what are the singles? Let's talk about them.
The single, Say Yes. Say Yes is so special to me. This was always a song that I knew that I wanted to come back into music with when I was releasing something new after some time. Um, this I always knew I wanted this to be the lead song because it's a completely live song, all
Mhm.
live instrumentation produced by Dre Harris, musical contributions from bass from Thundercat, Charlie Burrell on guitar, Chris Stave on drums. These are some of the most incredible musicians and artists in the music industry, in R&B, in soul music. And then I co-wrote this with Sir. And it's completely live. And I wanted this to be my artist's offering for the music lovers out there, for the people that are tired of hearing digital music. They want to hear something analog. They want to hear something that feels
Yes.
tangible and you can envision what it was like to create it. You want to see it live. That's what this song is for me. And then just conceptually, this is about saying yes to getting on the other side of fear, getting out of your own way, expressing how you feel, being vulnerable, allowing the love and the life that is waiting for you. It's on the other side of giving yourself permission to say yes. And so that's what this is like my mantra. This is the affirmation. This is what I want people to apply in their lives. So when I talk about raising the vibration, that's what it is. It's something that people can apply in their own lives, even though this is a very personal story.
The
And
second single.
I choose you.
Oh.
Being a Caribbean girl from Toronto, I'm always gonna have to bring a little vibes. I'm
Mhm.
always gonna have to just get in my Bob Marley bag and get in my Guyanese curry bag and get in there and just sprinkle a little seasoning into my R&B because
Mhm.
I wanted to create a lover's rock song. I wanted to give something that a bride and a groom, or a bride and a bride, or a groom and a groom could dance to at their party, at their
Mhm.
wedding. I wanted people to feel love. I wanted them to understand the beauty of choice and how beautiful it is to choose love and to choose joy and to choose someone and have someone choose you back. This is my life. This is my story. So, and then also just choice. Again, back to like it being an overall affirmation. The power of choice. What a gift it is to be able to make choices. And our life is literally just a collection of our choices. So the mom in me is always going to say, make good choices. But that's what it is. So I choose you, joyful lovers rock, both with live instrumentation, live bass, live horns on I choose you. And I can't wait to perform these songs live because it's just magic on stage.
No disrespect to New School and the artists who are out today, but I feel like sometimes everything that you just said, I love. I feel like we've forgotten how to celebrate life through music. And I feel like what you've done is here's the reminder, folks, and this is the way you can do it.
Thank you for saying that. Because yes, it is. It is about celebrating life. It's about being grateful every day. Like
Yeah.
I've lost, unfortunately, so many friends in the last couple of years and young in their 40s, like parents,
Yeah.
creatives, just people who had so much life ahead of them. And I'm very conscious of the fragility of life. I'm very conscious of the fact that it's a gift and we're on borrowed time and we are given purpose. And our only job in this life is to discover our purpose and to live in it for as long as we can, as long as we're blessed to. And so this chapter of putting out new music is me remembering the gift of purpose and the gift of time. And so my purpose on this planet 100% is to bring healing. My purpose on this planet is to use my voice to create spaces and art and conversations where people can feel seen, heard, and understood, from podcasting to motherhood to music to conversations to TED Talks to hostings to wherever I am blessed to use my voice. That is my purpose. And so I intend on living in that for as long as I'm alive. And so that's what I'm very proud of. And again, there's a space for everyone to exist. There's
Yes.
someone out there that's singing about their experience with depression and drugs, and that's how they're bringing spaces to other people to feel seen and
Exactly.
heard and understood, because that's also a reality for, everybody's experience is individual and we can all coexist. But for me personally, and I can only speak for myself, is I only want when people think of me long after I'm gone, is that I left the world a better place. That's it.
Amen. Amen to that. So, is there going to be an EP maybe following? Is there going to be an album following? And will we be returning to touring, maybe hitting Toronto home?
Ding, 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 ding. 3 out of 3. Good questions.
Yes.
So, yes, there's an EP coming. The name of the EP is Say Yes. It's coming at the top of 2025. It's going to include Say
Wow.
Yes and I Choose You. It's a 6-song EP. I'm so proud of it. I love it. It's literally just a collection of songs and feelings I wanted to hear. I want to hear it. I want to ride to my car and I want to dance to. I want to sing to and drink a glass of wine or make love to. Like, that's what I want to hear.
Yes.
That's what I want to do. So that's what the EP is about. Definitely looking forward to completing a full length project later in the year, next year, or the following year. I don't know. We'll see. But the third part is definitely will be coming back to Toronto to do shows. Definitely coming to see my Canadian audience. Like I said, this project is very personal. This project is very homegrown. Even I Choose You was done with Akil Henry and Child, both Canadian producers. That's a whole new experience for me working with Canadian teams and people. So I'm just very, very excited about coming home and seeing everybody in Canada, in all the cities and places that I've yet to venture. I'm looking forward to bringing the original music in the discography and, of course, the new music as well.
I am hoping that Drew or Glenn Lewis or somebody shares the stage with you. That would just be, it'd be amazing to see that. But look, before we go, I got to ask you very quickly, because we are now heading from fall to winter, the holiday season is coming up.
Yes.
So, two questions. Number one, are we going to get a holiday Christmas song from you during the holidays? And two, what was your favorite Christmas gift growing up?
Okay. So I actually currently have I put out a Christmas song a couple years ago. It was a cover of the Christmas song.
Hmm.
And we'll just have to see if you're getting a Christmas song this year because it's
Okay.
all up to Santa and his list. If you've been naughty or nice, just got to leave it there.
Okay.
My favorite gift that I ever got growing up. Um, so many. There's two. You know what? I'm gonna say this one.
Okay.
My mom, I got older. Mom was like, "What do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas?" I said, "Mom, I don't want anything for Christmas. Only in this life, the only thing I ever want is a recipe book with all of our Caribbean
Oh,
Guyanese
wow.
recipes." And so one year she did. She made it for me for Christmas and she gave it to me and it lives in my kitchen and I can go in there and make my shrimp curry or my banana bread or my oxtail or my cook up rice. I just need to get the ingredients because those are not easy things to find in LA. But that is probably one of my most cherished gifts. And then
Mm.
also after I had my daughter,
Mhm.
I remember my daughter, my mom, I had given my mom this book called My Mother's Story. And I'd gifted it to her a while ago, and it was for my mom to fill out, and she filled it out for me. And
Wow.
so in the Christmas that I had my daughter, she gave that to me. And those two gifts are probably the most special that I've ever received. Gifts from my mom, who she is as a woman, the legacy of our culture, our foods, things that are just so important to me. So those two definitely stand at the top of my list.
It's so funny because I just took my Guyanese mother out shopping and we had to stop off and we had to get cow foot, cut it all up, chop, chop. She wanted to make soup this weekend.
I
So
make
everything you just said, I know exactly what you're talking about.
cow heel soup. It's the time of the year. It's cold.
Yes.
We need some good soup. I know. I'm looking forward to my pepper pot at Christmas this
All
year.
right. You did. There you go. Okay. Hold on. Because I know some other places make a different. What color is your pepper pot?
Black. It might as well be black. It's dark, dark,
Yes. Thank
dark,
you.
dark brown.
I've seen green and these other colors, and I'm just like, what is that? And they say it's pepper pot. I said, no, 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 it's not. Thank you for confirming that for me.
Listen, there's only one color of Kazrip, and Kazrip is dark like molasses. And if you know what
Yes.
Kazrip is, then if you're not making your pepper pot with Kazrip, you're not making pepper pot. Period.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
okay, so end of discussion. And listen, as Guyanese people on this call, we're just going to actually acknowledge that it's actually shrimp curry and not curry shrimp. And all the other islands can argue with their parents. Don't argue with me, okay? Because it is the protein, then the curry. It is the meat, then the curry, okay? Okay, and
Thank you.
Deborah Cox and I have argued over this, and I low key have to argue with her because I'm like, you're Guyanese. You actually can't be influenced by Jamaican people like this. This is crazy.
No.
But Guyanese people, we know it's shrimp curry, chicken curry, goat curry, egg curry, chana curry, vegetable curry. It is the dish. And that's
Thank
what I
you.
think about
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. I miss you so much. I wish we could have met up when you were here doing
I
a
know.
promo, but
I'll
for
be back.
me these days it's easier doing it Zoom.
Absolutely.
So it is so good to see you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person when you come back.
Likewise.
Always love and all the best to you and the family. And if we don't get a chance to talk, all the best in 2025 for you. Always love.
Thank you. And thank you so much for the support over all of the years. I hope to see you in 2025 for sure. Thanks, Rudy.